On Star City News.
A Lincoln man has been arrested in connection with an identity theft.
Plus, U.S. National Security Advisor Michael Flynn has resigned.
All that and more next on Star City News.
Live from the television studios in the College of Journalism and Mass Communications at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, Star City News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Star City News. I'm Leanna Prill.
And I'm Lucas Bond. In our top story tonight, Lincoln police have arrested a man as part of an identity theft sting. Star City reporter Anthony Ainsley is live in the newsroom with the details.
Thanks, Lucas. After starting an identity theft investigation back in January, Lincoln police say they made a breakthrough in the case with the arrest of a 43-year-old Lincoln man. However, authorities are saying there's still a lot of work to be done before this case is closed.
Lincoln police responded to a complaint back on January 25th after a Waverly woman reported a fake credit card. Police said this was part of a bigger operation involving a Lincoln Postal Service worker changing addresses in order to intercept mail and packages. Police arrested 43-year-old Dominic Harris yesterday and is keeping him in jail. He was cited for criminal possession of a financial transaction device, identity theft, and unauthorized use of a financial transaction device.
Lincoln police say the woman from Waverly suffered about $1,200 in financial loss because of the fraudulent credit card. This apartment duplex behind me is one of the places that Harris sent the intercepted mail.
Officer Ben Houchins said the investigation began when the woman from Waverly stopped getting her mail.
Her address had been changed and she wasn't getting her mail at that point in time. We did begin to do some work with the postal inspectors.
Sheriff Deputy Curtis Rehas said police were able to get video of the suspect, but the investigation is far from done.
Through the search warrant, we also were able to find evidence of multiple other change of address cases and possibly fraudulent credit cards that were issued. It's definitely an ongoing investigation, a lot of work left to be done. But that's kind of where we're at right now with it.
So Anthony, tell me, where did police say he used this fake credit card?
Well, Luke, Lincoln police say this man went to a wide variety of places to use this fake credit card, including a Walgreens and Walmart here in northeastern Lincoln, as well as a couple of stores and gas stations up in southwest Omaha.
And are there any other victims in the case? Was it just the one card, or?
I'll tell you, Lucas, Officer Rehas said there could be as many as 50 victims involved in this case. However, most of them may not even know that they are victims at this time. That's why the investigation is continuing, and it will be some time before all the evidence is compiled.
Gotcha. Thanks, Anthony. A UNL music professor is in jail.
A UNL music professor is in jail tonight on suspicion of buying and selling steroids. 43-year-old Jeffrey McRae is an associate professor at UNL's Glencorf School of Music. The arrest warrant claims McRae turned over more than 40 vials of the controlled substance to Lincoln police in December. Investigators believe McRae used the banned drugs for bodybuilding competitions. They also believe he sold steroids to others. UNL spokesman Steve Smith says the university is looking into McRae's arrest and will take appropriate action if necessary. East Downtown Lincoln will be getting a facelift with construction of the new Telegraph District. This new vibrant urban hub looks to attract apartment-style living as well as home to more than 600 Nelnet employees. Star City's Reed Hunsaker has more on the new development.
Beckius?
Yes.
Edgerton?
Yes.
Finnegan?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Washington?
Yes.
It was a unanimous decision from the Lancaster County Planning Commission to move on with Phase 2 of the Telegraph District. Wynn Hermstad, who is overseeing the project, says the district will rejuvenate a dull part of downtown.
The goal is to improve the area and make it a viable, exciting urban neighborhood.
Businesses like Allo Communication have already moved into the Telegraph District and are nearing completion of their renovation.
That process will
pick up this year, and we hope to be significantly ahead of our plan by the end of this year.
Along with the Allo renovation, Nelnet will house more than 600 employees after construction of Phase 1 is finished this summer. Now this building behind me is Phase 1 of the Telegraph District project. Phase 2 is currently in the approval phase by the Lincoln City Council. Hermstad says this project will take around 4 to 5 years to complete. And she also says Lincolnites will notice a difference in East Downtown.
When you go to the Haymarket, you know you are somewhere. You are at a destination. And that's the goal for the Telegraph District too.
Reporting for Star City News, I'm Reed Hunsaker.
Thanks, Reed. Lincoln police have charged a pair of Pennsylvania men after finding drugs and cash in their car. Officers pulled over 28-year-old Daniel Pennock on Interstate 80 last week. He did allow officers to search his car. Police say they found 30 doses of LSD, marijuana, and cocaine. Police also say they found $22,000 in cash, which had marijuana residue on it. Pennock is charged with drug possession, and a 22-year-old passenger riding with him was also charged with drug possession, but has been released on bail.
An Iraqi man has been found guilty of molesting 2 girls. According to the Lincoln Journal-Star, 44-year-old Tariq Muhammad came to Lincoln from Iraq by way of Syria. He inappropriately touched 2 Lincoln sisters. One was 14, the other 10 or 11 years old. Muhammad went to trial and was found guilty of the 3rd-degree sexual assault charges last week. He faces up to 6 years in prison.
Opioid abuse is rampant in Nebraska, and lawmakers have launched a new radio and TV campaign called Dose of Reality. Here's a look at one of the PSAs.
Mike, I'm heading out to run some errands. Better get up soon. Mike, don't you have to go to work? Mike. Honey?
I can't see any of this.
Are you listening to me?
Mike, get up.
Okay, that's good.
Mike, wake up. Michael, get up. Honey, get up. Mike, baby, wake up.
Governor Pete Ricketts, Attorney General Doug Peterson, U.S. Attorney Deb Guild, and UNMC Chancellor Jeffrey Gold came together to announce the campaign. Their goal is to alert the public and encourage action.
Well, a major shakeup to the Trump administration as the president sees the resignation of one of his cabinet members just 24 days into his tenure. We'll have that story and more after the break. You're watching Star City News.
The historic Haymarket, a beautiful place just west of downtown Lincoln, home of the exciting Pinnacle Bank Arena and a rich history. The Haymarket's history starts shortly after Lincoln's founding, when Lincoln was a busy hub for trains filled with traders and merchants. But now, Lincoln has a new rail yard that's filled with people looking for food, drinks, or fun. The Haymarket is loaded with restaurants and fun for everyone. What are you waiting for? Go visit lincolnhaymarket.org/events to find out what's happening today.
Here, at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, we know you enjoy the little things, and the big things, and a lot of things. But we want to make sure that you do it right. Remember, a little bit of protection can save you from sickness and unintended accidents. This message brought to you by the University Health Center. When you do it, just do it right.
Welcome back to Star City News. I'm Lucas Bond.
And I'm Leanna Prill. As new internet technology is moving into the capital city, faster speeds and more bandwidth, and a few headaches too. Some homeowners are getting frustrated with Owl Communications installation crews who are digging on their property to install new cables. Allo President Brad Moline says his company is doing its best to handle customer complaints.
One, our stats within the industry are terrific. So in other words, we have to bother, when you think about it, every home or business in a region. because we're a brand new utility, so we have to go behind every home, every business. It's a partnership. The city has to work with us, all the other utilities have to work with us, and our contractors have to be very good at what they do. And last year we did about 175 miles of fiber inside of Lincoln, and we had about 60 issues that were our responsibility. So that's a pretty good rate. However, if you're one of those 60 people, it is a negative.
Nebraska could become America's third state to raise the smoking age to 21. State Senator Merv Ripe's proposal means anyone who wants to buy smoking tobacco, chewing tobacco, or e-cigarettes must be at least 21 years old. According to the Federal Centers for Disease Control, tobacco use causes more than 6 million deaths a year. Currently, a person must be at least age 18 to buy tobacco products or e-cigarettes in Nebraska.
And on a related note, the cost of buying tobacco in Nebraska may also be going up soon. It's a proposal to raise the taxes on tobacco sales in the state. Star City's Leanna Prill has more.
On January 17th, Senator Sarah Howard from District 9 introduced LB 438, a bill that would increase taxes on cigarettes and tobacco and funnel the money into Nebraska healthcare.
My heart has always been in healthcare and improving health status and access to healthcare in the state of Nebraska. We have a significant population of individuals who are uninsured. We have some really high rates of chronic disease, high blood pressure, heart disease, asthma, diabetes. And so these are things that the funds raised from a tobacco tax increase could be used to address. So yeah, it's all about healthcare.
According to the introduced copy of the bill, the Nebraska Healthcare Cash Fund would be created. This fund would finance other programs beginning July 1st. Some include the College of Public Health of the University of Nebraska Medical Center and the Tobacco Prevention and Control Program. The tax increase will be from 20% of the wholesale price to 65%, which is estimated to bump 64-cent tax on a pack of cigarettes to $2.14, according to Patrick Laggard from Hath Wheel. In spite of a steep price hike, people like Jade Weibel-Voss, whose parents smoke, support the proposal.
They've always wanted to quit, so I think it'd help them in the long run, because the more that they'd buy them with higher taxes, I feel like the more they'd want to quit, because they wouldn't want to pay that much for it anymore.
So far, Blood, Baker, Crawford, and Pansing Brooks' names have been added to the bill. Now, Senator Howard says that there is a direct correlation between higher tax rates and use. So the goal for this bill is to create a better health status for the state of Nebraska. Reporting in Lincoln for Star City News, I'm Leanna Prill.
A Lancaster County Sheriff's deputy was checking on a driver he thought was under the influence when he's almost hit by another suspected drunk driver. The deputy had stopped to check on a driver who passed out with his foot on the brake. That's when UTAN Athletic Director Douglas Veek smashed into the sheriff's cruiser. It happened around 2 o'clock Sunday morning. You can see the damage here. The deputy cited Veek for driving under the influence. The other driver was arrested for possession of a controlled substance. Nobody was injured. And the Nebraska legislature broke a filibuster yesterday to pass a bill that would move one step closer to balancing the state budget. Nebraska currently has a $900 million budget shortfall. The bill introduced by Governor Pete Ricketts will make millions of dollars in cuts in state agencies. Yesterday, senators voted 42-3 to approve the proposal, which will also take back unspent money from state departments.
National Security Advisor Mike Flynn resigned last night amidst reports that Flynn had inappropriate and improper contacts with Russian officials prior to the U.S. presidential election last fall. CNN's Reed Binion has more.
White House National Security Advisor Michael Flynn stepping down Monday night after less than a month on the job. The retired general writing in his resignation letter, quote, "I inadvertently briefed the vice president-elect and others with incomplete information regarding my phone calls with the Russian ambassador." Flynn referencing a call with Russia's ambassador to the U.S. in December, before Donald Trump was sworn into office. Speaking with Vice President Mike Pence after the call, Flynn initially denied talking about sanctions against Russia with the ambassador. Pence vouching for Flynn in January on national television.
They did not discuss anything having to do with the United States decision to expel diplomats or impose a censure against Russia.
Questions about Flynn's status began swirling Friday after reports that sanctions were discussed on that call. The situation evolving rapidly Monday. Trump counselor Kellyanne Conway apparently trying to assuage concerns about Flynn's fate.
General Flynn does enjoy the full confidence of the president.
But that assertion followed a short time later by a statement from White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer, who said the president was, quote, evaluating the situation around Flynn. President Trump himself ignoring questions on Flynn.
Do you have confidence in Michael Flynn, Mr. President?
Flynn's resignation coming after reports that the Justice Department warned the White House last month about his mischaracterization of the call, and that Flynn was possibly vulnerable to blackmail by the Russians. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Lincoln City Councilman Roy Christensen has filed for re-election. Christensen began his 4-year city council term in 2013. The 57-year-old says he wants to continue fighting for issues like the expansion of the Lincoln Zoo and greater transparency in city government. Christensen wants a lower tax levy, and he says helping people is what brought him to serve on the city council. Last night, more than 20 people spoke in opposition to funding for private schools. Star City's Reed Hunsaker has been covering the school choice debate extensively over the past 2 weeks, and he has more.
Nebraska is one of 7 states without charter schools. Now, legislatures are proposing LB 630, which would encourage more options for parents in schooling for their children. UNL Professor of Education Ted Hamann says he is skeptical of the bill.
And if you read the proposed legislation, the word charter comes up absolutely 0 times. And so it's kind of interesting to me that this is legislation that is being put forward in a sort of stealth fashion.
Hamann, who enrolled his daughter in a charter school in Rhode Island, says there can be benefits to the charter system, like offering a Spanish-English dual language program.
And that's actually useful pressure on the public school system to, are you offering something that the charter system is offering?
Despite Rhode Island and other states having some success with charter schools, Hamann believes resources should help students and not shareholders.
What's happened in a lot of places, it's been a stealthy way to get for-profit schools in, which aren't better, just somebody's making money off of them.
Sam Morgan, an education major at UNL, says the curriculum generally has a negative connotation with charter schools.
Education classes are focused on on maximizing the ability of the student and doing as much as they can for the student, and it's been kind of a reoccurring theme with a lot of charter schools that the students' best interests aren't in mind.
Last month, demonstrators gathered outside the Capitol alongside Governor Pete Ricketts to rally support for school choice.
Proponents say every parent should be entitled to invest in their child's education, while opponents argue it reduces funding from struggling public schools, as well as affect impoverished members of the community that may need a valuable education the most. Reporting for Star City News, I'm Reed Hunsaker.
Thanks, Reed. We've had some wonderful weather lately, and I really hope it continues. We're going to find out after the break. Haley McCulloch's got the weather up next. You're watching Star City News.
East Campus is for students who want an education outside of the classroom. We have art, agriculture, fashion, food science, law, dentistry, and a lot of trees, all of which are housed just on the corner of 33rd and Holdridge. Grab an ice cream cone at our dairy store or take a stroll through our gardens while you're here. Want to make it legit? Visit us at casnr.unl.edu to reserve a tour soon.
Our goals are simple: conserve and protect. The choice is yours. Stay ahead of the game and invest in reusable containers, or simply make use of recycling bins. Our recycling bins around campus can recycle paper, plastic, and even aluminum. Finished with that newspaper? Recycle it. Did you drink the rest of your pop? Recycle it. Heck, we'll even take your homework. Well, after it's graded, of course. Stop throwing away plastic and just recycle it.
Welcome back to Star City News. I'm Leanna Prell.
And I'm Lucas Bond. And as promised, we're about to talk temperatures. Here's Haley with the weather.
Thanks, Lucas and Leanna. So it's a great day here in Lincoln on this Valentine's Day. Sunny skies, 46 degrees, although it does feel a little bit cooler due to those northwest winds, 15 miles per hour. And we take a look at our almanac. Our high today was 50 degrees and our low was 23. Nowhere near those records of 75 or negative 15, but above average for this time of year. If you take a look, our sunset is after 6 p.m., so that's more time for the sun to enjoy that wonderful weather. As we move into tonight, we have clear skies, so it is going to keep those temperatures down a little bit. 25 degrees, northwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. As we move in tomorrow, another beautiful day here in Lincoln. Sunny skies, 50 degrees, a southwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. As we take a look at our 7-day, the end of our week is going to be gorgeous. Sunny skies Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Mid-60s on Thursday and upper 60s on Friday, maybe even reaching 70 degrees. As we move into Saturday, though, another weather system is coming into our area, so it's going to bring clouds and a possibility of precipitation. So we do have 61 degrees on Sunday with those clouds into the evening. Our first chance of precipitation on Sunday, 63 degrees. Thunderstorms for the first time in a long time on Monday, 59 degrees. And on Tuesday, another slight chance of precipitation, 55 degrees. So overall, enjoy that end of the weekend with those sunshine. Go out and enjoy that fun weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much,
Thanks,
Haley. Yeah, I'm very much enjoying all the warm weather, and I'm looking forward to some rain, too.
No complaints here.
Well, in other news, Nebraska men's basketball is back in action tonight as they look to snap a 3-game skid. Tommy will have that and the rest in sports right after the break on Star City News.
What can we do with 2.2 million square feet?
We can create,
design, develop,
study,
generate,
build.
At Innovation Campus, we combine research and transformation.
We combine business and art, technology and research.
We combine minds with makers, experts and novices. We innovate.
Welcome to Innovation Campus.
This is the nation's biggest multicultural center attached to a union. There's space to interact, study, and create. We're home to dozens of cultures, majors, and interests. We are home to all underrepresented students. And here, there's always room for you. Located on the east side of the UNL City Campus Union, find your home away from home. Find us at the Jackie Gunn Multicultural Center.
At the Outdoor Adventure Center, you'll find activities for everyone, from canoeing to kayaking to rock climbing. Everyone can get involved, but if you want to find them, you probably have to look up. The Outdoor Adventure Center isn't something you can really define. It's a culture built through experiences. Take a class with us. Go on a trip with us. We're open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Come move with us. Come adventure with us. You just have to experience it.
The Nebraska football team made it official Monday by hiring Bob Elliott to fill their safeties coach position. Elliott brings 38 years of college coaching experience, most recently spending 5 years at Notre Dame. He started at Notre Dame in 2012, where he coached safeties for 2 years, but he spent the last 2 seasons as a special assistant coach for the Irish. He served on the same staff as new defensive coordinator Bob Diaco in 2012 and 13. Head coach Mike Riley released a brief statement on the hire Monday, saying Bob Elliott has great respect throughout football for his defensive knowledge and ability as a coach, teacher, and recruiter. The experience he brings to our staff will be a great asset as we install a new defensive system and build toward the future success of the Black Shirts. Elliott said Monday in a statement of his own that getting to work under Coach Riley is an unbelievable honor, and he couldn't be more excited. The Nebraska men's basketball team will look to rebound from last week's overtime loss to Wisconsin as they take on Penn State at Pinnacle Bank Arena tonight at 8 p.m. The Huskers have struggled as of late, having lost their last 3 in a row and 8 of their last 9. Head coach Tim Miles and freshman forward Isaiah Roby believe that their team has been in position to win close games all year, and they have not given up on the season.
I just feel like every night we go out, we're going to put ourselves in a position to win, and hopefully we'll get our fans get out and give them heck. I know it's another late start, but, you know, those kids don't need sleep that bad.
We're never going to give up. The season's never over. We still, you always have a chance to make the tournament. So, at this point, we're thinking, win out the Big Ten. That's like obviously our goal. Because at this point, I think we're 4-8 in the conference. So, our record's not too good, but we have a couple 1-point losses, a couple 6-point losses, whatever. We've competed with everybody.
Nebraska has lost 3 conference games by 1 point this year. Penn State comes in at 14-12 overall and 6-7 in the Big Ten. They've won their last 2 games in a row. Top 10 matchup in the Big 12 last night. Number 9 West Virginia at number 3 Kansas. KU in trouble, down 12 late, and Tariq Phillip goes coast to coast at the lay-in. 14-point game, 2:43 left. Wait, where are y'all going? We still got a ball game. Frank Mason III here with a big 3. He had a team-high 24 points, under a minute, 5-point game. And this time, Devontae Graham, the fadeaway trifecta. Graham had 18 points. We go to extras. Jayhawks by 5, and Graham with the Steph Curry-like crossover and dagger. KU wipes away a 14-point deficit, and they win 84-80, remaining in control of the Big 12. Turning to women's basketball, number 1 UConn hosting number 6 South Carolina. The Huskies going for their 100th consecutive win. Seconds left until halftime as we pick it up, and Nafisa Collier gets a steal and does it all herself. 35-29 Huskies at the half. Collier had 18 points. Final seconds of the third quarter now, and methodical ball movement by UConn in transition. Shania Chong dishes it to Collier. Basket counts, and she's fouled. The longest active winning streak in the history of college basketball hits the century mark. UConn wins at home 66-55, their 100th in a row.
Somebody said to me, what do you guys do that no one else does? Why are you able to do this? I said, I can't answer that question. Wouldn't make any sense to you. I can't answer. And what I told the players was, you can't describe it.
Junior Gabby Williams was huge last night for UConn with a career-high 26 points. 41-year-old Jeff Sandusky, son of former Penn State assistant football coach Jerry Sandusky, was charged with sexual abuse of a child Monday. Court documents show that Sandusky solicited 2 minors to send nude photos and perform sexual acts via text message. Jeff is one of 6 children adopted by Jerry and Dottie Sandusky. Jeff repeatedly defended his father, telling Bleacher Report in 2015 that, quote, my dad is innocent. Jeff is being held at a Pennsylvania state prison on $200,000 bail. Ending in the NBA, Golden State and Denver to face the Nuggets. The Nuggets put on a shooting clinic. Will Barton here fires for 3, and Denver goes up 71-49 on the best team in the league. They led 75-54 at the break. To the fourth quarter, Warriors trying to rally. Damian Jones from down low. Just a 9-point game at that point after the 15-2 run, but Denver would not be denied. Jameer Nelson to Nikola Jokic. Pump fake. And the floater counts. Triple-double for the big man from Serbia. Denver hit an NBA record 24 threes in the game. That actually tied the record, and they rout Golden State 132-110. 16 major league teams had pitchers and catchers report to spring training today. Husker baseball starts Friday. Baseball season is nearing full swing once again. That's a great Valentine's Day present. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks so much, Tommy. Love the updates. There's a lot today.
And I can't believe we made it this long. That was the first time we've even mentioned Valentine's Day
Exactly.
today.
I know. It's very exciting.
Well, after the break, we're going to find out what Lincoln couples are doing on this very special day. You're watching Star City News.
It's your first stop on campus. It's your helping hand. It's a place to study, a place to eat, and a place to plan. The NCARD office, Career Services, Student Affairs Center, a multicultural center, food, and even Greek affairs.
Wait, did you mention food?
Yes, but we have a lot of other stuff too. Come check it out at the Union.
It's our union.
A lot of high school students would ask, why should I go to UNL? Well, why did Johnny Carson of the Tonight Show fame go to UNL? Why did multi-billionaire businessman Warren Buffett go to UNL? Why did people of such great fame and success go to UNL? Simple, because these are people that wanted to be successful. At the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, you too can begin your own success story. After all, if people like this can achieve national recognition and who came from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, then so can you.
Welcome back to Star City News. Love is in the air, flowers are in hands, the chocolate's being eaten. It is Valentine's Day.
Yes, it is. Well, let's check in with Star City's Joe Harris to see how UNL students are spending this Heart Day.
I asked UNL students if they celebrated Valentine's Day, and what comes to their minds when they think of it.
Valentine's Day was actually the day that my current fiance asked me out for the first time. So that's kind of the first thing that I think of and that I associate it with.
It's a burden sometimes, you know. I got a girlfriend, so I had to buy her a whole bunch of stuff, so. But when I hear Valentine's Day, I think about love.
Still, Valentine's Day is certainly a big day for commerce. The U.S. National Retail Federation predicts an individual this year will spend an average of $136.57 on Valentine's Day gifts.
I literally almost spent exactly that.
Were you a little over or under?
A little over, like $144. Just on a teddy bear, so like a giant teddy bear. So.
We didn't spend too much money on it. We went out to dinner last Friday rather than going out tonight, and we just went to Firehouse Subs. He got me a little box of chocolates, and I got him like an assortment of other candies, so probably like $5 on the gifts.
Floral shops are one place consumers are expected to spend their money. Rob Reef is the Hy-Vee store director on 50th and O Streets. Reef says their floral section does more business in one day than they do in an entire 2 months any other time of the year.
Valentine's Day is one of the craziest days of the year. You know, they typically say that a typical floral shop will do half their business Valentine's Day week. Today, we could do anywhere from 500 to 1,000 deliveries.
You could say that kind of business indicates a lot of people are showing their love for someone on this day. Reporting for Star City News, I'm Joe Harris.
Thanks, Joe. Well, that is great. That $130 mark, I gotta admit, I might have been just a little bit under that this year.
Me too, unfortunately.
Well, that's all we got for you tonight. Once again, I'm Lucas Bond.
And I'm Leanna Prill. Thanks for watching Star City News. Have a good night.
Tonight